The Rocket Review is sponsored by Why Not Saloon.
We're so pleased to finally have on the show incredible Americana singer-songwriters. They do it all. You're going to love their new EP. I've got Jesse and Noah on the show. Jesse, I'm glad we finally made this work.
Me too, Eric.
I feel like we're pen pals,
you.
and knowing, listening to your past songs and living all your songs you guys have done in the past. This new EP just is incredible. Leave Love Alone, which is fully releasing November 1st. But 3 different studios? Because one wasn't enough.
Yeah, one's never enough. One's never enough. Well, we sort of guerrilla record,
Yeah.
So we do a lot of home recording and stuff like that. So, but a lot of times we'll kind of get songs to a certain point in our home studio that we're kind of at a dead end, so we need to go somewhere else,
right,
where we can get things tracked properly. And with this one, I brought 3 of the songs to Pino Squillance.
Right. Who produced it with you?
And he was working on a project for a friend, and I stopped in at the studio, House of David on Music Row.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I think this could work for us. So I had 3 of the songs that we were sort of stuck on. So we brought those into the studio, and those became the 3 sort of lead-up singles. And then when the EP comes out, there'll be Crown Victoria will be released.
Which I love that song.
And the rest of them will all come out together.
Right. Well, and Noah, I've got to ask you, because you and I kind of like stringed instruments. And I know also you're a hit with sitar, but it's like, you had to have fun, bringing the instrumentation, because as I was telling you guys before we came in studio, what really appealed to me about this new EP, and certainly you've had, hit songs, you've got a huge fan base following you already, but the different instrumentation, that you guys applied to each song with these clusters of songs, how did you determine what instruments to play per song?
Oh, well, that's, I don't know, that's usually just trying them all out. Trying to think of what all ended up on there.
Because I love the acoustic guitar sounds you got also.
Yeah, there's some good acoustic sounds on there, and I played well on that one song, Return to Williamsburg. We cut that at Dad's studio, and his 1930s Gibson was sitting out there, so I'm going to play that on this.
Well, and that's one thing that I didn't mention either. You guys are the sons of David Bellamy of the Bellamy Brothers, and so Howard is your uncle. So you guys have a little bit of musical influence, but we were talking also with the album, with this EP, I know you guys are working on a new album that's going to come out in 2025, but a lot of different influences. Like we were talking, like with Too Much, that song has a jazzier, and we were even talking kind of pop, Hall & Oates kind of feel to it. So you've got some country in there, you've got some Americana. The first song, title song, the slide guitar is amazing.
Yeah, that was actually Lorenzo Piccone, a friend of Pino's from Italy, and that was actually overdubbed in Italy. So there was a fourth
so it's
studio.
An international.
Yeah, it's an international project. Yes.
Leave Love Alone, we figured out it kind of spans countries and decades.
Yeah, because my co-writer was from Australia, Simon Bruce. He lived here a long time ago at this point. So and he's been back in Australia for a long time now.
Yeah.
But he and I started the song, and then he took it to Daniel Tashian, who produces Casey Musgraves, and then they finished it, and then they sent it back to me.
Wow.
But this is over the course of years.
Right. Well, and that's what I noticed also with these songs too on it, Jesse, to where it's like there's such a depth in the lyrics. You guys are so great at telling stories within the songs, and whether one kind of sounds like your influence of Tom Petty or more rock and everything, it's like the songwriting is just so strong.
Well, I work really hard at it.
It shows.
Yeah, I work harder on lyrics now than when I was younger. They seem to be a little.
And so a lot of that is from like the Darby, Florida time. Then when you just go down there and hang out alone when nobody's home.
Well, that's what those will be the new. That'll be the new album. That'll be the next album. Yeah, I went home a couple months ago to write some songs on that 1930s Gibson.
Yeah. Never a bad thing to be playing a 1930s. Oh, look, it's just sitting here calling my name.
Yeah.
I must play it.
I think the songs are already in
I
songs
think
are
it's
already
so
in the
true.
guitar, yeah.
It's, with some of those guitars, and obviously, your dad and uncle have had some major hits, which I got to brag on you guys also, to where, you guys have done well also with some of your songs, certainly, with Rolling Stone giving you a nod and featured on CMT. And once again, a big deal, you guys had a hit, song on the reboot of 90210 on the CW network. And that's not an easy placement. We were talking about that. It's like people are always trying to get songs, featured in a TV show or on a network placement. And to achieve that, pretty huge.
Yeah, they just found it on SoundCloud, I think. It was a total accident. I can't.
Good accidents, right?
Yeah. You pitch things all day long and they don't land, but
It's kind of like dating. When you stop, it's like, okay, well, there it is. Then it works out. Same with songs, right?
oh, well, I know about songs.
Well, I wanted to talk also, and obviously, already writing the songs, already back in the studio. You guys are working it already for the new album coming out in 2025. But, the holidays are going to be upon us soon. And what a better time to have 2 new Christmas songs out. And you guys are doing that also.
We are. We've got those coming out the week before Thanksgiving. One of them is a cover by a song by Chris Ria.
I saw that. I listened to it.
Called Driving Home for Christmas.
Yeah.
And it's just one of my favorite Christmas songs ever. So we cut that one, and then the other one is one that Noah cut, or Noah wrote.
Yeah.
Sang lead on it. And
Yeah.
And we had Mike Klooster from Smash Mouth. He's been playing keys on our stuff. He played melodica on it.
Oh my gosh, I
Yeah.
love melodica.
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought that was it.
Oh yeah.
and glockenspiel.
And glockenspiel.
You know what? And that's just a fun word to say and to play, especially if you're out on tour. It's like, wait a minute, we need a glockenspiel.
Since we started using it, it's amazing how many records I hear it on now. I'm like,
It's like
like, wow, it's
sitar.
every-
It's the same thing. You go, wait a minute, Rolling Stones, Paint It Black. There's so many, you start looking at all these different
Yeah.
songs going, I can use that there. And not just performances when your grandmother makes you do it, right? Well, I wanted to bring up too, you guys have such a storied history, but I know your first time to Nashville was 1984, great year, and you came to Fanfair.
came to Fanfair.
With
I
your
came-
grandma.
Yeah, our grandmother used to load us up every year, and we would come to Fanfair, and we would work the booth, and those were the really fun years. Those were the years where you could see. At that time, it was like each label had a different showcase
Right.
night. So you would go to the MCA show, and it would be George Strait and Conway Twitty and John Schneider and Bellamy Brothers.
Yeah, of course.
And then you go to the Warner Brothers show, and it'd be Crystal Gale. Who else was on one? Dwight Yoakam and Randy Travis
Right.
was coming up during.
Well,
that
and
time.
also is that, once again, both of you got to meet all of these artists, coming up as young musicians. So did that make it easier when you go, hey, we're doing a music video on Broadway?
Yeah, more or less. Yeah. That was a. Because we meet people, but you don't hang out with
Right.
them really. But yeah, that was more or less what we did. We just sent out an invite to several people, and they showed up. So
Well, and you guys moved here full time in 2002. So obviously you're an instant success right now.
right,
And that's working out well, right?
It's a 10-year town.
Well, it used to be a 5-year town.
Yeah, it keeps increasing, right? No, it's like going, wait a minute.
No, it's a come here and commit your life to it town.
Right.
Is what it is.
But I mean, also though, you can tell it in the songwriting like we talked about too, and in your guys' performances, and certainly touring internationally as both of you do, you gotta love it. It has to be in your DNA to want to keep doing this. And also, as brothers, to be able to tour and play together, it's gotta be challenging and special at times.
Well, you learn to stay out of each other's way, and anyway, so we've always done that. So,
But also, I mean, the guests you guys even brought in on the EP, on the next album, are there going to be more guests and things, possibly?
I'm working on some guests. Yeah,
Yeah, I
working
think-
on some
Yeah, we
guests.
can't say any names yet.
Yeah,
but
I don't have anything secured. But
yeah, but also
we just
you
cut
know-
the tracks. We cut 2 of the tracks on
Yeah.
just earlier this week.
So when you guys were kids back in Florida and everything, did you guys just start, performing, for the family? I mean, how did that all evolve as young men starting out in music?
Yeah, I think everybody just expected us to do it, so we just started gigging.
So it's like they just shove a guitar into Noah's hand going, okay, you got to start playing.
Well, we started, putting together little bands like in middle school.
Oh, wow.
And we would play, whatever local kind of stuff we could. And we just kind of started that way, and we'd play whatever, like I'd play kind of whatever instrument we didn't have. I played bass in some of the bands, I played guitar in some of them. That's kind of how it started out, just kids doing it, and we just
Still kind of do it the same way, really. So we just forgot to quit.
But you know what? It's so much fun to me, though, listen to your guys' songs, too. It's like, both of your voices are so great and so unique, but it's like, but you guys play off each other so well. And you think that's from being brothers and growing up musically together?
Yeah, well, some of the stuff we just cut, we're like singing it down at the same time a lot of time, like Everly Brothers style.
Right.
And so we're doing more of that and actually trying to, gear songs to feature that a little bit more. Yeah, but but there's times where we do it separately as well,
Right.
and there's times where Noah will go back and layer thicker parts and stuff like that. So we're once we get in the studio, we're open to
Right.
anything. So.
Well, and also, I think it's such a great opportunity for both of you, and not being, boxed into one style of music like we talked about. Certainly on this EP, I hear so many different styles, and that has to be a blessing to be able to bring that to where it's like, okay, we're not only country, it's like, because your fan base is very open to the different musical styles you guys bring too.
Yeah, sure. Well, I mean, country is very fundamental to what we do. I mean, it's definitely the first music that we heard, and the music we heard most often growing up, and it's kind of just there no matter what. So there's no need to lean into it.
You don't have to work on that one.
Right, yeah.
It's like, oh wait, we've been raised around the traditional country.
Yeah. So that sort of gives us license to go off and explore other areas, and then bring that sort of thing that's inherent to us into that.
Also, it's fun too, with the new EP, with the music videos and everything you guys have out also, so that viewers can kind of get, a story with the song.
Yeah, I like the songs just to stay kind of open to whatever. And there's some songs that are definitely story songs, like
Right.
Crown Victoria is very definitely a
Oh my
story
gosh,
song. But with Too Much, I just wanted it to be like just a pop song,
Right. Well, and I think also, like we were talking about with the lyrics, to me, listening to you guys, sing and perform them, I like to have the lyrics. It's one of those to where I'd like to have the vinyl and read along with the lyrics.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, the next record we'll do a vinyl release of for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Well, I want to make sure for our viewers, certainly you've got upcoming shows. You guys are going to be in Memphis and other locations, probably back international for 2025 touring again, which I think is going to be pretty awesome, especially with a new album. You got an EP album. You got to tour big,
Well, we will try.
Well, I want to make sure, for your website and social media too, Jesse and Noah, it's like, where do viewers need to go?
JesseandNoah.com, and then you can kind of get to us wherever from there. But that'll be kind of that'll be the hub, and we're all over Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and all of the usual spots, and stream us on Spotify and Apple and whatever else there is, Pandora.
Yeah, and add them to playlists. I'll tell you what, Leave Love Alone, the full EP comes out November 1st. A number of the singles already out. There's going to be more singles, 2 Christmas singles coming out just in time for the holidays, and a brand new album coming out next year. But I got to tell you, you got to go see Jesse and Noah live. And if you encourage Noah, he may bring a sitar and do a little rendition that he played for his grandmother and some friends. So, just send encouragement on the website and on social media. But great songs. You're going to enjoy all of them within the new EP as much as me. Can't wait to hear the new album. Jesse and Noah, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks, Eric.
The Rocket Review is sponsored by Why Not Saloon.